India may be a chai nation, but let's be honest, coffee has quietly become the language of modern ambition. Walk into any city today and you will find cafes full of founders, freelancers, and first dates. But this story isn't about caffeine. It's about marketing, money, and mindset brewed a cultural revolution. Hi, this is Nidhi Singh. You're watching This is Digital Marketing, and we are here to decode how real brands shape real behavior with data, storytelling, and thoda sa caffeine. Before we dive in, tell me what's your coffee ritual? Instant, filter, or you're not at all a coffee person, you are a tea lover just like me. Let's rewind to where it all started. In 1996, Bangalore, India's tech city, sees the launch of first Cafe Coffee Day. Yes, founder V.G. Siddhartha was a coffee planter from Chikmagalur who decided to bring his beans to the streets. But remember, this was pre-social media, pre-Instagram, and when the coffee was cool. Coffee wasn't culture yet. People met at home or at Udupi restaurants, eating dosa and ordering filter coffee. Coffee, I also remember as a child drinking it in weddings out of this huge machine that would create the froth and give coffees to us. Coming back to CCD, the tagline, a lot can happen over a coffee, wasn't just copywriting, it was a cultural psychology. Wouldn't you relate to it now when you look back? They built India's first third space. Not home, not office, but hangout. Affordable, aspirational, and youthful. You would remember going to a restaurant, but restaurant wouldn't allow you to sit for a longer time. And CCD became that hangout place long before co-working existed. That's how brands that think ahead of time think like. And here's the marketing brilliance. CCD sold access, not luxury. They democratized aspiration. Their business model was vertically integrated, owning plantations, roasters, cafes, which kept prices accessible. That's how they created India's first lifestyle habit around coffee. Others are just basking in their glory, to be very honest. Marketing insight, CCD did not sell premium coffee, it sold belonging, it built behavior before the market even existed. But CCD was offline first. Its cafes were in its social media. And when the digital wave hit, CCD missed the shift. They built physical community but never digital community. And that's where the global pairs saw this opportunity. What CCD should have done is quickly uh, leverage their physical reach community and taken them to digital because their community was already moving to digital. Now 2012, Mumbai Starbucks enters in a joint venture with Tata. The first outlet at Horniman Circle saw queues around the block. Suddenly, coffee isn't just a beverage, it was a badge. People carried those green cups like identity statements. Oh, I'm drinking Starbucks coffee and it's suddenly cool. Even having your name misspelled became part of the experience. Starbucks' business model was clear: premiumization through experience. They use design, smell, sound, and language to create a ritual around every order. Fun fact, if you don't know, Starbucks employees are not allowed, especially the ones that I'm talking about are in stores, not allowed to wear any perfume because that will conflict with the coffee fragrance, coffee's aroma. Their stories were built for Instagram before Instagram peaked. Their marketing differentiator, global consistency. Every font, every playlist, every wall texture screamed one word: premium and consistent. That's how our great brands are built. But they did not localize enough. They sold aspiration, not emotion. It looked global but did not feel Indian. And that's where the next wave of homegrown disruptors found their space by being global in quality but Indian in heart. So in 2013, Delhi NCR Blue Tokai coffee roasters began in a small Gurgaon apartment. Founders Matt Chitranjan and Namrata Asthana started roasting half a kilo at a time, hand sealing each pack, and they did something revolutionary. They printed the farmer's name, the state, and the roast date on every pack. They came from US and missed the high quality coffee they used to get. And by the time India is already loving coffee, so they are okay to experiment to try premium coffees. Their differentiator, education as marketing. They did not sell coffee alone, they taught coffee. From brew guides to farm videos, Blue Tokai turned Instagram into a classroom. Their model blended D2C cafes and B2B, making them India's first full stack coffee specialty coffee brand. Marketing inside, Blue Tokai turned the backend into the brand. They didn't advertise quality, they proved it. In Bangalore, Third Wave Coffee was doing the same, but with its own flavor. Their differentiator, design, and serenity. Soft lighting, minimalist interiors, and pastel tones made calm aspirational. Every corner was Instagram worthy, the kind of cafe where your coffee looked good and you did too. Their business model focused on scaling cafes while protecting the premium vibe. Not franchisee first, but experience first. Marketing inside, Third Wave sells serenity and not caffeine, which is social friendly. Then came Subco Coffee in Mumbai, the creative rebel of the coffee world. Their differentiator, coffee as culture, Subco blended Indian beans with Brooklyn style branding, music, and art. They sold limited edition beans like collectible fashion drops. Every Subco product, from packaging to playlist, was storytelling in motion. Their model, boutique micro roastery meets luxury retail. Marketing insights, Subco sells coffee like couture, crafted, scarce, and stylish. And then Sleepy Owl swooped in with a fresh play, which was convenience. I still have lots of Sleepy Owl coffee in my kitchen, which has these cocktail of small sachets which you can try and then buy which one you love more. Their differentiator, coffee for the fridge, not the cafe. Cold brews, ready to drink cans, sachets, all for the urban multitasker. Their voice fun, relatable, and witty. Their model was pure D2C with sharp digital funnels converting browsers into loyalty subscribers. Marketing insights, Sleepy Owl made coffee cool again by keeping it real and having it at your home. And finally, Araku Coffee, the purpose driven brand rooted in community, born from tribal farming collective, it transforms social impact into luxury retail. Premium pricing, minimalist packaging, and genuine sustainability. Their differentiator, conscious indulgence. Marketing insight, Araku monetize purpose, showing that conscious can also be classy. So you see, we are talking about a coffee lover or coffee lovers, and so many different brands cater to these consumers different needs. Somebody wants to look good, somebody wants a good taste, somebody wants a specific taste, somebody wants couture style coffee, and somebody who just wants to have coffee good at home. Each of these brands crack their own business formula. CCD scaled culture, more physical, Starbucks monetized belonging, and foreign appeal, Blue Tokai sold transparency, Third Wave sold calm, Subco sold craft, Sleepy Owl sold convenience, and Araku sold purpose. Different flavors, same ingredient, distinct marketing DNA. This is what we need to learn as marketers, that the target audience is either simple or complex based on how you are seeing them. Let's talk about emerging affluent. Today's coffee consumer is between 22 to 35-year-old, urban, English speaking, and digitally native. They are second generation spenders, many using parents' disposable income but making independent lifestyle choices. For them, coffee is not a drink, it is a signal. It signals ambition, independence, and taste. They discover brands on Instagram, shortlist on Google Maps, check reviews on Zomato, and post from sipping. Coffee is part of identity architecture, just like sneakers or playlist. And when identity drives consumptions, emotions drive conversion. Marketing insight, today's coffee drinkers don't chase discounts, they chase discovery. They want to look cool. Now let's talk about tier 2 because that's where the next boom is, because India's metros are saturating. Coffee culture is no longer confined to Mumbai, Delhi and Bangalore. Tier 2 cities like Indore, Surat, Jaipur, Coimbatore, Lucknow and Chandigarh are now buzzing with India's indie cafes and roasters. For the new generation of entrepreneurs and creators, cafes have replaced conference rooms. They are where ideas are born, pitches happen, and communities form. Now let's talk about some fun facts. Starbucks rewards app refined consumer retention. In India, Blue Tokai and Third Waves are building their own digital ecosystem for loyalty points to subscriptions to gamification. Soon you will get a message you are brewed 47 cups this year, mostly medium roast. That's where AI meets aroma. So, as a marketer, what can marketers learn from India's coffee revolution? Culture creates category. CCT built behavior, Starbucks built aspiration, Blue Tokai built trust. Your model defines your marketing. Each brand chose a lane, community, craft, convenience, or cause. Digital storytelling wins loyalty in a saturated feed, teaching beats shouting. Community beats campaigns. Your cafe isn't a store, it's a stage. Design, data, dialogue, the three new beans of marketing success. From Chikmagalur plantations to Bandra pop-ups, from CCD nostalgia to Subco storytelling, India's coffee story is a proof that when culture and commerce align, categories transform. If you loved the deep dive, hit like, drop your go-to coffee brand in the comments, and subscribe to This is Digital Marketing, because I am talking about industries and brands that shaped these industries. I've already spoken about some of the cosmetic industries, marketing research, and then now we are talking about coffee. Do go and check out the playlist. Or next time you sip the latte, yaad rakhna, you are not just drinking coffee, you are sipping a strategy. See you in the next video.